Hello, Froggy here, and today we'll be getting a red border chest from Salvation's Edge. You can find it way out over here. We'll be doing it, however, from a boss checkpoint. So let me show you what you'll need to do this. It's one of those rare times when you want to be a hunter. Navigator help's not strictly speaking necessary. What is necessary, however, is Storm's Edge. I would also recommend having high jump and grapple on, since we'll be using a bit of that. Although to start things off, you're going to want to be on Revenant with Shatter Dive enabled. You'll also want to bring Salvation's Grip, because we'll be doing a lot of fallbacks. Although we're not starting with it equipped, because we're going to be using Navigator first. An Eager Edge sword is also pretty handy. Ideally you'll do this with 4 people, although it is perfectly doable with 2. It'll just take a bit more time. The other people aren't needed until later. Now let's get this show on the road. Penguin here is fulfilling the vitally important role of staying still. We don't have a way to get back to the boss encounter afterwards.
One final act of entropy.
Once the red border chest is all done, we can rejoin a boss off of Penguin. Alternatively, Penguin can just wipe. So, luckily, nothing stops you from just going back here. But at this point, there is something stopping you. But we'll get to that in just a moment. This tree here is a giant grav lift. And if you try to approach it, it just kinda kicks you back. So if you jump out to the side here, you gotta be a bit wide or you'll get caught in the grav lift field. You can drop down inside of the tree, and then just shatter dive. Huh. I haven't actually had that happen to me before. Interesting. Anyways, there's like no recharge time on that, so I'm just gonna come back over here and do it again. First time I did this, I did it on Titan with the stasis melee, and that was an experience. Wouldn't really recommend it, but it's possible. If you die up here, you'll spawn back in 4th encounter. And at this point, you can swap over to Prismatic. Once our grapple charges, it's time to climb up out of here. You could climb up here using any other method. Grapple flying is just the easiest. Good stasis climb. You can even have someone else join you because they'll join at start of 4th encounter, and there is another load zone just up here that you could rejoin on. You join on whoever the fire team leader is, except currently in non-Pale Heart Patrol. Not sure what's going on there. Hopefully it's a bug and that'll get fixed. Not gonna need grapple for a while, so we can just burn that to get up. Now for a common pattern we'll be seeing. You want to not set a spawn point and then die so that we can do the fallback. So I was on a sword and not on Salvation Script to do the earlier climb. And that eats up a bit of ammo, so let's do a bit of regenning. You want to set your ammo low while you're alive, and then once you're dead, swap to a reserves chest piece and you'll gain some ammo back. The max you can get Salvation Script up to is 28, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. 26 is close enough. So for fallbacks, you want to take a few steps away from the spawn area, then place down a sort of pyramid of stasis. 2 in the front and 3 in the back. Strafe, don't rotate or you'll mess up the alignment. Then just die and respawn as fast as you can. If all goes well, you'll find yourself here. If it doesn't, just try again, regenning ammo as needed. Oh, would you look at that? We've got a flag. Quite handy, that means our super is entirely charged. Anyways, if you end up accidentally setting a spawn point, you can always go to the previous load and come back. You'll be getting plenty of practice with fallbacks because here we've got another one. I'm gonna go ahead and die, and the default spawn will be on that bridge somewhere. And if we just take a few steps backwards, that should be good enough to block this. I need a new mouse. My mouse sometimes stops clicking randomly, and then you get lovely things like that. Oh, hardware issues aside, I'm gonna go ahead and set up this pyramid of ice again, jump away, die, and hopefully that'll put us back. Well, let's try that one more time. To make sure I am strafing. Probably didn't put the other crystal far enough back that time. Well, the previous time. Let's see if this has done any better. Yep, there we go. If you're going for a speedy setup, you're going to want to have the third member join right after you hit the dissipation load coming up on these stairs. They'll have to just wait around until you discover what the code is, of course, but with them there, you won't have to do any fancy business to get back. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and generate a bit more ammo. The more ammo you have, the more ammo you'll generate, so generate early, generate often. You don't want to be genning one at a time. Well, time for another fallback. We technically could take the up elevator down, but that's really more effort than it's worth. Especially when the fallback points are so nice. Hopefully I didn't accidentally break any of the crystals there. Ah, yeah, looks like we're good. We're coming up on where we would be adding our fourth member if you're going for the fast route. And where we'll finally need that super. So as soon as we hit substratum, you can have someone join to eventually handle the third plates. And now it is super time. I would recommend having a sword equipped here. In fact, I'm going to generate a little bit more ammo just in case, although you really only need a couple of swings. And now it's time for the super. I line up about with the crossbar here, then over to the bezel. Want to get like, I don't know, right? Ooh, it's a little bit too far to the left there. Yeah, you want to aim a little bit to the right on that bezel, and it should go straight through. Luckily, you can get multiple attempts per super, but you should only need one. Let me go ahead and show you the run where we actually tested that this worked. You can see I'm aiming for the middle of the bezel there, not the left edge that I had just done. And it goes straight through. Diggs there has the triumphs done, so he was hitting the chest to be able to test that the mod works. And it did, which you'll see later. Anyways, I'm going back onto Navigator to round this corner, and definitely want to be on triple jump now. This is where the Eager Sword will also come in handy, because if you just have a grapple, you could grapple once, swing, jump, then get another swing in, and can make it safely. Could have worked in another sword swing to not have to use that grapple, but here we are. Right at the closed door. So, I'm going to go ahead and show this bit because the jumping for this area actually works just as well backwards as forwards. Although it is a little bit unusual to be going in this direction. It is nice of them to have provided a nice jumping route back so that if you're guiding people through the raid and they get stuck, you can go back and actually help them. I do like the jumping puzzles in this raid. Gives you a bit of the sense of moving around the map out of bounds. But anyways, at this point, all we have to do is head back to the very beginning and we'll get to read the code. If you have 2 other people in wait, you'll be able to run to all of the red border puzzles at the same time, and that will definitely make it go quicker. Just in case you don't know where those are, I'm going to go ahead and include footage of getting to them, so there'll be timestamps below if you want to just jump to the path to any individual test. Once again, the areas that I pointed out, the first area that we had someone join will be puzzles 4 and 5. The second area just has to do 3. And then as the code reader, we will also be doing puzzles 1 and 2. Puzzles 2 and 4 will only be active for you if you have done all of the encounter-specific triumphs. That is, the sort of mini-challenge, not to be confused with the actual challenges, which we'll be unlocking later. I've not finished them, so I'm not going to be able to enter 2 and 4, but we did go ahead and test that did in fact work. Getting kind of close to the beginning. It is a proper labyrinth in here. Also not super in tune with hunter movement. But yeah, just gotta go back through these red bits and we will be pretty much back at the beginning. At least in terms of the red border. The code is on the 3rd column here, bottom to top, so that's room 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. A collection of triangles, squares, and circles, apparently in that order. So that's nice and convenient. So, if you already know where the red border chests are, and you have other people in the fire team, you can just all run them in parallel now. In case you don't know, I'm going to go ahead and show you. It's not out of map, so I'm going to go through this kind of quickly. So, first one is coming up on the left. You'll be doing this one for the red border. want to go right up here, and then to the left. I think it's right up... oh no, that's the exit, so... it's gonna be right around here to the left. And... oh no, it's down. So, this works much like the mechanic inside of the raid encounters themselves. You just kind of bounce this light back and forth, but it moves a lot slower to make it convenient for one person to be able to enter the code. I would definitely recommend recording in chat what you need to do. So I'll be grabbing triangle first, shooting that, and there we go. Success. Now time to go to number 2. I don't have the capability to unlock this one, but I'll show you it just the same. In our testing run, Diggs was able to unlock the boxes so that we were able to verify that this does in fact get you the raid mod as well as the red border. A lot of people helped out with testing for things on this route. Thanks to Ghillie, Elite Eater of Crayons, Cube 17, ItAvvy, SpaceRaven, Sieizo, MrMochiFruit, yvDiggs, and wondoefull. Because, I don't know about you, but I definitely can't clear the witness solo. We're coming up on the second puzzle now. It's kind of in between these two staircasey things. And then just a bit upwards. You'll need someone who can activate the box. And then that section's done. Now for number 3. So, you can have someone join you after you enter the code, and they will join right at the bottom of that lift, so that part's pretty nice. If you only have 2 people, you can just rejoin at boss and redo the earlier parts to get back, in which case I would recommend doing 4 or 5 first. So I have helpfully saved the code in chat here. Let's see, we've got S for sphere? Yeah, that sounds right. You start that. Shoot the pillar. One more. And... oh. S is for square. I'm a dummy. Well, luckily, this is not the recording from when we actually did the thing, so let's just keep going. So we're coming up on a little bit of an obstacle here, but luckily you can just eager edge through it. You could also fly to the right and, oh, I haven't actually ever died to that before. So I guess there's a chance you do die. Yeah, you could always just grapple fly up and to the right and bypass all of that. But if you don't want to or don't have the tools, you can just go straight through it. Anyways, once you get up to this point, you want to go left instead of right, and that will take you over to puzzle number 4. I can't start it, so we're just gonna carry on. While we're doing this, if you happen to have not grabbed this bonus chest, you can pick up some extra loot. You can find it right over... guess not that one. Not that one. Here we go. until I am very experienced with this raid, having cleared it a total of 1 time so far. And we can get out, not here, but up here. Alright. And we've got one more of these doors, so once again, you can just eager edge through them. Nice and nice and easy. Well, we're just about coming up on the last of the little puzzles. So, if you happen to be doing them in chronological order, this will be the final one you need to do. Just want to kind of jump up here. This is actually the one that I accidentally found and entered correctly to realize that it was possible to sequence break these, which is why I went ahead and tested this whole red border chest thing to begin with. Usually these things aren't actually active if you come from a boss checkpoint. The only other one that mostly works is Vow. But as you saw with the other terminals, this one does in fact work. And on the off chance that you're doing this correctly, at this point you'd see this message. And now you just need to beat the boss, and you should be rewarded with a red border chest and a weapon mod if you also did 2 and 4. I don't know how to reach the boss from here, so you're going to need to just have your person at the boss start it. And then wipe if you need the ammo or to get more people to join. But if you manage to defeat the witness, you'll get the red border and mod from a checkpoint. I already got the red border earlier, but you do see I got the mod there. Hope your raid explorations are going well, and I'll see you next time. And maybe I'll work on my damage.